Hi guys, I just wanted to do a quick video just about the Humanities Honors Program here at San Jose State. It's mainly going to be ad-libbed, so bear with me. So the Humanities Honors Program is a 4-semester program that covers your a lot of your GEs, your A1, your A2, your A3, your C1, your C2, and then D2 and D3, and then all US 1, 2, and 3. So that's just a brief synopsis of what the program does. It's definitely heavy on art history and literature, and very heavy on reading. How I found out about the honors program was actually through an email. It seemed kind of sketch, but it was from the Humanities department head, Cynthia Rostenkowski, saying that as a freshman you qualify to apply for this program. And senior year Haley thought, wow, me? Academic prestige at San Jose State? So without a doubt, even without looking at the perks, I applied and I got in, and that was set. Each day is broken up into lecture and seminar, and so for me they happen every Tuesday and Thursday at 9 a.m. and I end around 12. The first hour and 15 minutes is the lecture, which everyone in the program gathers together and hears a lecture from one of the 4 professors, and then we all break up into our randomly divided seminars, and then you rotate based on one of the 4 professors you'll have, and then you rotate every semester. So far I've had 2 of the 4 professors. And so some of the perks that I wanted to cover, the first one that I've definitely taken for granted and didn't realize was such a game changer was early registration. Throughout your 4 semesters, the lecture time and the seminar time remain the same, and so you have to you're given early registration in order to prioritize humanities and then schedule the rest of your classes around that, since that is already set and permanent and can't be changed. And with early registration you avoid impaction, especially for the classes like labs that you have to cover for your other GEs. That was really great as well, because it's a struggle. The English class I know is super impacted, and so having early registration, but also that humanities covers English, it was a no-brainer that I just wanted to do this. Also for me personally, I like stability, so having something that would remain consistent and having the same consistency throughout my my first 2 years was ideal for myself. And it's also nice to have the same people in your class, and you can rely on them and ask them questions to get to know them better on a longer span. What else is also nice, you have the same textbooks for 4 semesters. Well, technically the same, but you buy different volumes of different sets. I bought them all used and from a girl who had just graduated from the honors program, so she sold them for really cheap, and it was definitely a money saver. As opposed to spending $100 for 1 textbook, I spent $7 for 10, I believe. Alright, so here are the textbooks. This is the first set of the Norton anthologies, and then here's the Bible. You'll do a lot of scripture reading. They said that you don't necessarily have to buy this one, but if you haven't read the Bible before, I would recommend this one. Then here's the philosophies. This is like $70. And then here's the Stockstead art history books, which we use a lot. So out of the set, there are a couple more like this one. I haven't picked this one up at all, I'm sorry. But the most you use are the art history books and then the Norton. So for the set, for some of the miscellaneous books, like on justice, power, and human nature, and then the Norton, and then the Stockstead, I got for $70. But then this one, I was a fool and bought it new and didn't really need to. That was $60, and then this one was $70 used. This one is a hefty boy. Oh my gosh, it's brutal. And then also one of the biggest blessings in disguise was peer connections. So with the Humanities Honors, they force us as an assignment to participate in the peer connections, which is an on-campus organization, I guess you can call them, that focuses on mentoring and tutoring other students. My peer connections mentor, her name is Umber. She's super great, super inspiring. It was just great to sit down. Even though it was for an assignment, it turned into a friendship. I would just be able to voice my stress and just social anxiety to her, and she just gave me advice, and it was truly a blessing in disguise. So even if you aren't in the program, I believe that you can still use them as a resource. So definitely recommend checking them out. If you're looking for a mentor, just advice or tutoring, definitely go to them. along with all the positives, or at least all the positives that I saw, there are definitely negatives. So one of them that definitely had a huge impact that I definitely slacked on was the heavy amount of reading you have to do. It is no exaggeration. You will have to read books at a time for each lecture. It was very rare when I actually did the reading. Spark Notes can only take you so far, so Crash Course can only take you so far, so that was definitely hard to keep up with. It just depends, and also depends on your seminar professor, depending on their teaching style, if they give a lot of quizzes. So my first semester I had Professor Andy Wood. He's phenomenal, great professor. He rarely gave quizzes, so it was less incentive for me to read them, as opposed to this semester I had Professor Susan Scaff, who's actually retiring this year, but she would give quizzes almost every other class, and so I had to keep up on that. And then next semester I will have Professor Mesher, and he gives quizzes that everyone bombs every class. Another downside is that you are stuck with the same 4 professors, and if you don't like one professor style, you're bound to have them unless they do some random switch up for some random reason. They did that for us, for my cycle. And you know, like, it's about learning how to work with certain professors and learning their style, as well as their learning about how to teach you in the best way possible. So that was definitely a challenge that it's hard to overlook, but that's one reason why humanities wasn't always my favorite thing to study. Professor just sitting there and just trying to absorb all the material, because you have to listen, you have to pay attention in order to like keep up. But at the same time, it was very difficult for some professors. I won't say which ones. Also, if you don't like your time frame in which it happens, for me, I have a 9 a.m. So, class starts at the 9 a.m. lecture, and like it was okay for me, but then if you don't like it, you have it every semester for 4 semesters, which isn't ideal. So that's it. That's just a brief synopsis on the Humanities Honors Program here. 10 out of 10, definitely recommend it, especially if you love art, definitely. My appreciation for art has grown exponentially just with this program, and then studying animation at the moment was really cool to see the parallels as well. I definitely recommend it for the peer connections, and then just the professors, and they really just love what they're teaching, and it's just an easy way to knock out your GEs in a short amount of time, so definitely recommend it. If you have any more questions, you can leave them in the comments. I don't know. Bye!
Used to love me, I used to love you. We had the phone, but did you love me like I loved you?
First video in my dorm room before, like, 5 days before I move out.